I'm in the courtyard at the Temple of Literature, and I just want to bring you to these. These are not tombstones, by the way, but these are stelas written by doctors in the olden days during the reigns of Confucius. The thing is that they're not very clear, so you're not able to have a look at them, but they are all over here, like how we have maybe PhD doctors today, but in those days obviously we didn't have that kind of stuff, and therefore at that time when these was written, in calligraphy on these stones by these various doctors, and they are called the Stelae of Doctors. So in those days, this is how they used to perhaps record the information. Please do excuse the noise because there's a lot of tourists here. So I'm just going to tell you about the stone a bit more. It's the construction of the stone stele in this third courtyard began in around 1484 under King Lê Thánh Tông. So basically each stele is a work of art having been crafted by great scholars, craftsmen and calligraphers of the era. The first sentence of the text on each of those texts, the large character indicates the year of the examination. So obviously it's kind of wiped out now, that's why I can't get to it, but that's all I can show you in this tape. But we are talking about 1,000 years ago, and these monuments are still standing here in the Temple of Literature in Vietnam even till today, from Confucius times, and they are still seats of learning, and what in the modern day world how education is carried out. But this place is called the main center of learning and literature, and I think all these doctors who have written their work out and left it as a monument in Vietnam now for us to see how advanced and how much education there must have been. Obviously they have fallen in a state of disrepair, and from the 1960 onwards they've not been very well maintained, but yet I think the Vietnamese government is trying to get some funding, and perhaps at least the inscriptions, but unfortunately just can't see them. And anyway, the barriers here, so I can't even take the camera anywhere near it. But it's a nice place to just come and spend the afternoon in this Temple of Literature, because it's from where the seat of learning, in the olden days when there was no law and order and how people should live, that kind of thing. It's not like how we have it in parliaments today in Britain and places like that. It was very different in those days. Similarly, on the other side of this pond as well, the same Steles of Doctors are on the other side as well. So that's how it was. I'm just going to take you through the walk as I leave this Temple of Literature, and I just want to say that there is no benches here to sit down, so people can't really sit down here at all, which is a shame, because you could spend some more time here, but that's not possible. As we go down from here, you can see these trees are pretty old, and their roots are hanging, and this basically is various sections. This first bit is the garden. So I'm just leaving the Temple of Literature now, and I thought I'll just show you how it was in the olden days, and how it used to perhaps function. So this was a place for learned people who would come in Confucius reign's time, and then they would perhaps exchange their ideas over here. And I think this is in those days, we're talking about 1,000 years ago. The monuments are still standing here, and I'm going to just turn the camera now so you can see how this looks. And just see that. So I think that was a better view. And on that note, I'm just going to sign off. We have some Vietnamese tourists coming here as well. And it's basically people are just coming to take out photographs and images.
Cái mặt mình phải bự hơn người.
That was it, and this is the way out. Actually, it's also the way in to the Temple of Literature, and as you can see, there's a big large bell on the top. It's got inscriptions on the walls as well, in perhaps Chinese or Vietnamese language, and basically it tells the story of a different time zone many years ago. So on that note, dear folks, I hope you enjoyed hearing that. I'm sorry about the voice recordings breaking and things like that, but it's a really very hot day here, and I've run out of battery charge as well, to be honest, and I'm just using a power bank as I'm recording this. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed it as much as I've enjoyed coming to this place. Thank you very much for listening, and please do subscribe to my channel. And on that note, bye bye folks. Bye bye.